Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their new books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not be, of course, forgetting about the new Star Wars movies, the new Star Wars TV shows in development by Disney and Lucasfilm, along with Favreau and Filoni really handling a great portion of the franchise that's really about to turn things around. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the Disney Star Wars universe between, of course, John, George, and Dave is that they really are all about cameos, right? They're all about reintroducing some of the fan favorite characters, how they can make them work in the Mandoverse, and also in different eras of the Star Wars universe, and exactly how that's really gonna be pretty much, leveled out. Pretty much how they're gonna be able to find ways to balance things out for the fans. Now, we already know that they are working on over a dozen Star Wars projects. They have, just for starters, Mando Season 3, Ahsoka, Mando 4, Book of Boba Fett 2, and that's just a minuscule amount of the TV shows that they are working on. They have over 30 Star Wars TV shows slated to actually release over the next couple of years, but they're currently and actively working on 12 at the same exact time. Now, with that being said, what's even all the more exciting is exactly what both Favreau and Filoni have been approving for, of course, upcoming Star Wars TV shows, one of which, of course, has a lot to do with the Mandoverse era, and how it's going to do something incredible for the Star Wars fans. So, moving past all of this, alright, given that Disney and Lucasfilm are getting ready to make some big announcements for the fandom, it's noted that recently Favreau and Filoni made a big decision to make for the Star Wars franchise and the entire Star Wars community that they believe is going to truly satisfy the fans and reunite the fandom across the globe. Now, it's noted that just recently Favreau and Filoni finalized one of the storyboards for The Mandalorian 4 to be implemented into the script of that season that is set to provide fans a detailed, powerful scene where all three fan favorite characters, of course, of Force Ghosts, are set to have a big moment with Luke Skywalker on the world of Ossus. Now, this scene is said to entail a moment in which Anakin, Yoda, and Kenobi's Force Ghosts are guiding Luke Skywalker and teaching him lessons about the Force and the way of the Jedi inside of his now complete Jedi Temple. So for those of you that don't know, this is all taking place on that world that we saw in the Book of Boba Fett. It's called Ossus. It is the home of the ancient Jedi, at least in Legends it is. And in, of course, Favreau and Filoni's iteration of that world, this is the location where Luke is building his second Jedi Temple. Yes, there will be two. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The other of which is going to be on Yavin 4. So, further, Hayden Christensen is slated to play the role of Anakin's ghost and appears just as he did in Return of the Jedi. However, the plan is to make Anakin's ghost very vibrant and colorful to the eye for the fans. Kenobi's ghost is set to be portrayed by actor Ewan McGregor. They have a technique in mind where they will use one of ILM's new technology where Ewan provides dialogue that it will make, of course, sound like Sir Alec Guinness in real time. Now, that is a very interesting technology that we actually talked about lightly a couple of months ago. So, to clarify, this new technology, alright, that's going to be used by ILM for Ewan McGregor to be pretty much Alec Guinness in real time is that ILM has this new technology. They're going to be putting it into boom mics and shotgun mics. They're types of microphones, by the way. And in there, they're going to implement this technology where as Ewan McGregor is talking, speaking dialogue, it's going to automatically transfer that dialogue to use a automatic voice synthesizer to make him sound just like Sir Alec Guinness. And I don't know about you guys, but that's a very impressive technology. What this essentially means is that it will transform the film industry. It's going to allow actors to sound like different people in real time. Can you imagine how fast that's going to really move post-production along? Because this is basically ILM's way of advancing technology. mixing post-production with, of course, principal photography at the same exact time. There's going to be no need for After Effects or anything around those lines. This technology that they have implemented is said to be so perfect that it's going to allow one actor to sound like another actor in real time. Moving on. Now, on to the next thing here. As well, of course, a CG technology will be used on Ewan McGregor that will make him appear like Alec Guinness of the version of Kenobi. Now, the lessons that they are teaching Luke in these storyboards are said to involve them providing Luke Skywalker insight about the netherworld of the Force and informing him about ancient Jedi temples hidden across the galaxy. Now, the ghosts are labeled as circled around Luke inside of his temple that fans saw in the Book of Boba Fett, while this is all happening before the fans' eyes, of course. Now, that's what they want to do. They want to make it very detailed for Luke Skywalker to be learning all of these new, insights into the Jedi, the Force, etc. Now, here's the kicker, is that what they are doing here is that they are basically attaching the lore to what was teased in the Secrets of the Jedi book. And when you read that book, I actually talked about this on my Twitter, in that book, it does confirm through Luke Skywalker's thoughts that Anakin, Kenobi, and Yoda guided him for multiple years throughout his life after Return of the Jedi. And what I like so much about that book is that it basically is done through the thought processes of Luke Skywalker. So everything that you're reading are thoughts of Luke. And one of the thoughts confirms, like I say, Luke, Anakin, and Kenobi guiding him for several years. And this is going to be the visual representation of that, handed over by Favreau and Filoni in The Mandalorian Season 4, which, by the way, is slated to release sometime during the holiday season of 2024. Unless there are some delays and additional filming, it could very well be early 2025. But so far, they are dead center, aiming for holiday season of 2024. So there's a lot to tell here, because the fact that they are going to make it canon that the Force ghosts of the past are teaching Luke Skywalker about the netherworld, you can see how John and Dave are also borrowing aspects from Colin Trevorrow's Duel of the Fates, aka the original Episode 9. And in there, Colin Trevorrow was actually going to have Kenobi, Luke, Leia, and all the other Force ghosts teaching Rey about the netherworld of the Force. In fact, they were going to have Rey in the netherworld of the Force, in, of course, the Duel of the Fates movie. It's actually called the Astral Plane. That's what they're gearing up towards calling the netherworld, the Astral Plane. So, moving past all of this too, given that Favreau and Filoni are very dedicated to their work, which, by the way, I love so much. I love how Favreau and Filoni are just so in touch with Star Wars, so in touch with what they're trying to ultimately achieve. So, anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.